What is going on, guys? It's your boy Mike. Now, in today's video, I do want to compare the two. As much as you're not supposed to really compare these two, kind of, but I mean, they are both in SaaS. So it's like, I don't understand why people are saying that you cannot compare these two. I mean, as much as one is consumer and then one is enterprise, I think it's fair to compare these two, right? I mean, I've been wanting to buy Duolingo for a minute now. I've been really just analyzing the company. I mean, active members are growing, monthly active users are growing. I mean, it's a great company and they're growing pretty fast. But then, I look at, ServiceNow and it's like, it looks more as a safer bet. And, their moat is more concrete, right? And I kind of want to dive into this a little bit more, right? So, I mean, yeah, of course, if you already know, Duolingo, language learning, I mean, they are scaling into other areas like the math, chess, music, and then we have ServiceNow that's literally trying to automate automations, whether it's IT tickets, anything that, essentially save time as a service, what I like to call it, right? Because you're literally like automating workflows, right? You're saving companies a lot of time. And, that's pretty valuable in enterprise rather than like Duolingo is more consumer based, right? So, you're dealing with consumers that, if they're not on the platform, I mean, they can easily just delete their membership. It's easy to lose people. But then, they are growing pretty fast, so they are growing faster than ServiceNow. But ServiceNow is a little bit more mature. And the thing with, ServiceNow is that they have these locked in contracts, right? These multi-year contracts. So, we're talking about 3-5 years down the line. They already have locked in enterprise revenue. Duolingo doesn't have that, right? I mean, on an operating standpoint, I mean, their margins is basically the same, right? I would even argue that Duolingo's margins is a little bit better. But they're not really focusing on really expanding that margin right now because they're growing very, very rapidly. I mean, their revenue is it's growing faster than ServiceNow. But then I feel like, the TAM when it comes down to ServiceNow is just a lot better. It's just a lot better, right? So, I mean, you get in more free cash flow, more revenue, more, the opportunity to increase margins down the line, and then you have safer contracts. So, I mean, I don't know. I've been just going in between the two, and I just been thinking, I'm like, you know, Duolingo, like, yeah, it makes sense, right? Like, but it's like, if I really care about proprietary data, I mean, ServiceNow has a way better moat, and they have locked in contracts. And on top of that, I mean, if you really look at the enterprise landscape, I mean, like these customers, it costs so much to just change. You know what I mean? So it's like they already created the model, like letting go employees, changing up certain systems. So the fact for them to actually go back to their old system or change to a whole completely different enterprise software, I mean, it's costing these companies a lot of money. So it's like the moat on ServiceNow just makes a lot of sense. I mean, right now, their market cap is already $105 billion as of today recording. I actually bought a crazy amount of shares literally today, this morning. Literally as soon as the market opened, and it actually went up 10%. I'm like, oh shit, right? But I'm holding this company for the long run, right? But I could easily see ServiceNow going to about $500 billion, right? I mean, the CEO already guided that they're trying to get to 1 trillion. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I think $500 billion makes sense, right? I mean, Duolingo is very, very early on, and the TAM is not really unlocked per se. I mean, they're still growing fast, but then they don't really have that margin expansion like ServiceNow. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. So this is the thing I'm getting at, right? And then on top of that, they stock-based compensation for ServiceNow. I mean, they already guided to bring it down to 10% of revenue. I mean, this is good stuff. Like they're already projecting to lower the stock-based compensation. So, with growing revenues, I mean, we have revenues like 20 some percent. If I were to look right now, um, like, yeah, probably the CAGR, yeah, it's about 22%, right? So they growing. And on top of that, I mean, AI, they still growing that TAM. So, I mean, even if ServiceNow just executes moderately, I think it's a way better bet. You know what I mean? Like down the line. Um, so like, yeah, I mean, they're making a lot more revenue. If they keep on executing and adding more models, we could see this revenue just explode, really and truly. You're literally saving these companies a lot of time. They're not gonna want to switch. Duolingo, like, people are canceling, and yeah, they are growing, right? They're growing their daily active users, their monthly active users. But then when it comes down as an investment, ServiceNow is more concrete. Like, I feel better holding ServiceNow than Duolingo. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I feel like right now. But yeah, I mean, that's really mainly it. Um, like, Duolingo is still expanding, right? I mean, uh, what they market cap? Yeah, it's about 5 billion. So it's pretty early on. So this is kind of an unfair comparison, really and truly. But it's just like, I don't know, you know. But then I understand their mode. I understand Duolingo's mode, right? It's just that, as much as other apps are taking share, I mean, they are the better app. But then let's just say Duolingo, they have this proprietary data, and these other apps are still building their apps. They could just copy the app, right? Like, yeah, they have data, but then the data that they get, is going to produce a certain type of outcome, which they will relay on their app. And then if it's on the app, then companies could just take that action and just implement it into their app. You know what I mean? Because if you just keep doing that, then yeah, yeah, it's very hard. But in terms of long-term growth, I don't know. I mean, they're both great companies, right? The balance sheets on both of them is pretty impactful. Um, but yeah. I mean, that's really it. I mean, there's room to scale with ServiceNow. You know, there's a lot of room. I mean, there's a lot of room to scale for Duolingo, right? I mean, free cash flow is 150,000. Free cash flow for ServiceNow right now is 1.5 billion. I see this like just go insane. Like, I don't know. And then if you were to talk about like the valuation between the two, right? Duolingo on an EV to sales multiple it's a lot better, right? You gain it at 3.7. And then of course ServiceNow, right? You're literally paying a little higher multiple, but then you are getting that cushion. You're paying 7 EV to sales. But investors are, yeah, you're really paying for that safety. So yeah, it just makes better sense. Like, I feel like ServiceNow is really and truly a better investment than Duolingo. But then Duolingo do have more untapped growth, right? Like, ServiceNow, we know that growth is coming. Like, it's inevitable, right? So yeah, I mean, it's very easy for me to say that ServiceNow valuation is going to expand, rather than like expand quickly and faster. But then they create businesses. It's just that, you know, ServiceNow, their RPO, like it's going insane, right? They having these locked in contracts, multi-year contracts, um, and they're still growing pretty fast. Unlike a Salesforce that's not really growing as fast, but it's more concrete. So I would say when it comes down to, like, as an investment, if you want more of a cushion, then I would say go for Salesforce, of course. Um, but then it's like, okay, if you want growth and you want to be in the middle, but not too risky, like a Duolingo, like, I mean, risky, I mean like volatility. I would go with ServiceNow. I feel like it's right in the middle. you know. And then of course, like Salesforce is like more stable. It's stable, more like a Costco, right? But they're still growing. They're still growing. It's just that, you know, like as an investor, like I want growth, and like that's it, right? So like, yeah. And you know, I don't know if let me see, what else did I talk about? I think I talked about everything. But yeah, I mean, that's it. And then not only that, not only to mention, I mean, ServiceNow, right? I mean, the customer renewal rate is extremely high, 98%. So it's like people are staying, right? And if the CEO delivers and add more verticals, I mean, it's over. This company is literally handling like all the hard work, so these companies can actually focus on what matters, driving revenue, right? But yeah, I mean, just tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I want to hear your thoughts. Are you guys buying ServiceNow or Duolingo? You know, let me know in the comment section below. I'm buying ServiceNow. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.